How sad is it that on my free day I show up for work? Because I'm so bored at home.
I mean, that's a lot of people. I think.
I was gonna say that's pretty sad, but I get it. I was gonna say that's pretty sad, but it's pretty sad.
Alright, so Phasmophobia, right?
Yeah.
You can, you play one of these, you play a group of ghost hunters. It depends on the level of difficulty. So the highest level is professional. You're a professional ghost hunter. And the thing that irks me, so if you're a professional ghost hunter and you go into a haunted house, that ghost is almost guaranteed gonna hunt somebody. You know, the easier ones, you go in, you look for clues, you figure out the ghost, you leave. But at professional, the ghost will almost always enter a hunt mode at some point or another, and so there's a high chance of dying. Yet, so these ghost hunters, they're the best of the best. They go across the country hunting ghosts, and yet the most they get paid for completing all objectives on a professional class one, like finding the ghost in a haunted prison. You know, a ghost of a prisoner that died. One of their friends died, and they figure out the ghost. They get paid $200. They get paid $200. We just saved this high school. Tony died, and it's like, oh yeah, congratulations. Here's $200. If your companions die, right? They somehow make less money. They only get $70. So I'm like, they're dead, right?
Wait, why are they getting paid at all?
Well, well, that's the thing.
Do they come back after?
No, they're just dead. But they don't tell you any. They don't do a good job of setting the story. So I'm like, these people, as far as I'm concerned, are making like maybe $500, $600 a month, depending on how many friggin' ghosts there are.
There's no limited to 5 ghosts.
Yeah, it's all about supply and demand, and there's a very, very low demand for ghost hunting. I started playing Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
But when it like starts off and you have the standoff, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I blasted through the standoff, no problem.
Yeah.
And then about 5 minutes through, they said, oh, your enemies can faint now. Like, your enemies can do like a fake out.
Yeah.
And I just started losing every single stand-up, and I don't think I've survived a single random encounter yet.
No.
I'm just a really bad samurai.
It's hard in the beginning, but then once you level up a little bit, it gets easier.
Yeah, but like, lore-wise, this guy's Lord Sakai. He was the second in command in the Great Battle of Komoda Beach. But then when he wakes up, he's like the worst samurai I've ever seen. How did he... That's like top tier Japanese nepotism right there. If that's the thing where he's like I'm the second in command of this army, but I don't know how to block.
Yeah.
I only know how to block swords. I don't. If somebody comes at me with a shield or a spear, I'm done. I'm done. I don't know what I'm gonna do then.
He has to relearn all of his stance and stuff.
Yeah. Like,
I have to learn how to break a shield.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, you're telling me that you never learned this before the Great Mongolian invasion? Like, you knew they were coming.
Yeah.
None of you went, hey, you know what? Maybe I should brush up on some of my legendary techniques.
Right.
Nope. All right, I'm gonna judge your purchases now.
It's all across the movie.
Oh yeah, of course.
No, it's all stuff that it's like, I've read all of this, and I consider it essentially, like, not even classics, but like important stories that you should probably know from knowing them. Most of it's obviously DC. House of X is just because
it's really good.
It's just so good.
Yeah. That's right, viewers. If you guys are watching, read House of X. It's really, really good. The X-Men are like bad guys now, or they're government schmucks now, right?
No,
they're part of the Man.
They're part of their own group of men, though.
Like, X-Men is so tied to kind of like the social movements of the country, because like mutants were originally meant to be like a gay analogy. Yeah. And now they're just an analogy for like oppressed peoples.
Any minority power wielder or something.
Yeah, but it's funny because every president, every American president, has always gotten a cameo in Marvel Comics. Like George Bush was in The Ultimates, where he's like, "Hey, Captain America, is the future cool?" Barack Obama got saved by Spider-Man or something, and then you got like Justin Trudeau who beats up Tony Stark. Apparently they're like old college boxing buddies, and so during Civil War II he flies over to Canada, which suffice to say, like, I guess our airspace security is so bad that Iron Man can just, like,
Let Iron Man.
pops in, and then, yeah, like, Trudeau's there, and they get into their boxing gear, and they just start punching each other, and Trudeau wins. Do you think somebody, like, from Canada specifically asked for them to
Yeah,
put Justin
of
Trudeau
course,
in it? Yeah, they're like, you gotta put him in. He's the prime minister.
Do you think he got paid for it, or do you think they just had to do it?
They probably got
If
they
you're
probably
gonna
got
put-
paid for it.
If you're gonna put Trudeau in, he has to win.
Who from like the Canadian embassy is like, guys, we need to
need
get
support
on this. We
Canada,
need to go get Marvel.
Yeah.
Canon. Justin Trudeau beats Tony Stark out of armor. That's canon now. I'm already sick of all the COVID movies that are going to be coming out soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't know what they are, but I already know that I'm so tired of them. I don't want to see them anymore. They're already overdone and they don't even exist yet. I don't want, but I don't know how long COVID is going to be a trope. You know.
I don't know. I think the only like genre I think that's gonna abuse it is like the horror type, because it's gonna be like a bunch of zombie movies. Right? I mean, it's literally just gonna be a bunch of I Am Legends.
See, I Am Legend is actually a fantastic movie
Yeah,
and a
it's
great
actually
comic book. Have you read it?
I haven't read the comic book.
Okay, so at the end of the comic book, in contrast to I Am Legend, and I actually like the comic book ending more. So at the end of I Am Legend, he kind of just blows himself up, and that's it, and that was okay. The amazing thing about I Am Legend, the comic book, is that for him, it's like a fight for survival. He's desperate. He's desperately clawing at survival until he finally gets caught. And when he finally gets caught, he's like, just go ahead, just kill me, you filthy vampires. And they don't, and they lock him up in a cell, and he's looking down over the window at night, finally, even though he's never been out at night. This is the first time he's seen him in moonlight. And the entire city's population of vampires have shown up to watch him, and he realizes that this is an execution, and that vampires have formed a society, and that he's been the boogeyman all along, that they've been trying to live, and that he's become the bad guy. He's become the monster that goes bump in the night, and that he's like, I'm the legend. That's the whole point of the book. He realizes he's like, they're the regular people now. I'm the thing. I'm the creature in the dark that they tell their kids to scare them.
The movie only just barely, because I watched it super recently, just barely hints at that.
Man,
right?
you know, that definitely was like I Am Legend, I, Robot, all of the I titles.
Yeah.
That was like the
I Am Will Smith.
I Am Sam. Sam I Am. That was like the golden age of Will Smith. And then after that, we saw a slow decline of the Smith era as the rival reconnaissance begin to take effect.
Nothing lives up to African facing.
Yeah, the China salesman.
The China salesman.
I betrayed my tribe. I thinned against my people. Here's the thing. Mike Tyson has tried to pull off so many languages and so many accents that I actually legitimately respect him for trying.
Yeah.
Because most people out there wouldn't try to speak Cantonese. Like, would you say Cantonese is harder to learn than Mandarin?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's basically just Mandarin in all caps.
Well, it's
You just scream everything.
no, there's 9 intonations in Cantonese and only 5 in Mandarin.
Yeah. I don't know enough to explain about intonations, just because I only know the 5. I didn't even know I had 4 more.
Cantonese has 9. Yeah.
I've never used 4 intonations.
Basically, let's say ma, right? M-A. There's ma.
Yeah. So ma is like mom, but ma is like no. And so in Mandarin, right? They're like, hey, have you had dinner yet? Like a very polite thing, like, have you eaten? Can I feed you? You know, 你吃饭了吗? Right? In Cantonese, and I mean, sure, you can try to make it sound nice. Mandarin, it's like 吃饭了吗? Cantonese. Why they stick
Well, that's kind of, you know.
Maybe I'm a crass peasant. What do you want from me? I also like that Cantonese reactions to events are like, I feel like you're just meant to overact them. You know, like for example in Mandarin, like oh my god, you know, 我的天, like it's like oh gosh, oh no. Cantonese like, what am I搞错? Just like it's just a lot of weird octave sounds going on. But
so this is a little bit of a stretch, but I know that this is at least true. And maybe we've talked about this before. So the amount of colors that you see are actually based off the language you speak and your culture. So if you have, for example, if you show us a bunch of, I can't remember exactly how we, now cultures that don't have the word blue in their language,
What backwards culture doesn't
no,
have...
No.
Blue,
No, I've heard of this.
yeah, blue is one of the last words to become a word.
Oh, yeah.
If it's not useful, you don't use it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you show certain like tribal language country, or not countries, but like groups of people, it takes them a lot longer to find the blue.
Right.
But then if you find them or show them one that's like a bunch of the same shade of green and then one that's very slightly different that you and I wouldn't be able to see, they would be able to. The reason why is they actually have to differentiate between incredibly slight differences in shades of green for plants, herbs, stuff like that. We don't need to. We don't even have the words for that. Having the word and the language and the culture for it literally impacts your ability to see. So, having a culture built around whatever racial differences you can observe in somebody, you might be able to like point things out.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
that's totally true. Even in Chinese, right? The word ting and 藍色, 綠色. But when you think about, the word ting, right? Is that blue or green? See?
Yeah. I don't know. For Manhua, it seems like it's probably a very similar experience that like Western comics have gone through. Of like, well, kind of we're obsessed with the power fantasy of superheroes, and then like their version of it is just East Side.
Yeah.
And they'll go through it until they get to a point where it's like, this is pretty dry, this is pretty old, let's like try something different. And it's possible that I'm just like ignorant enough to that like subculture, I guess, that there's probably plenty of stuff that I don't know about.
No.
I'm a Koreaboo, I guess.
Koreaboo?
I want a Koreaboo. I'm not actually. In fact, some of the most infuriating people to me are K-pop stans.
You don't like K-pop?
I'm fine with K-pop existing.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. It's catchy. It's exactly what it's supposed to be. But the people who like it are some of them. The minority that's vocal.
I like how you're assuming that I like K-pop.
No. I assume that you're a grown man. Quite the opposite. You know the phrase "stan" or the word "stan"? What it means? Like,
No, I'm old.
Stan means to be essentially an obsessive fan of, and it used to be essentially an insult, and now people wear it proudly.
Wait, how do you spell it? Stan?
S-T-A-N. So where it comes from is an Eminem song where he talks about a guy named Stan, who was one of Eminem's biggest fans, and like loses his mind. Like the whole song is about this fan of his like writing letters to Eminem, being like, whatever. I'm your biggest fan. I did this crazy thing. I tried to. I don't remember the full thing. I think he tried to show up to his house. He ended up getting like, in a car accident, drunk, and anyway, you can read the lyrics of the song. But the whole point. It's funny because the whole point of the song is criticizing these types of people and being like, you should detach yourself from celebrities. They don't know you. Please don't attach yourself to them. It's bad for you. It's the whole point of the song, and the word is an insult, and the people just are like wearing it proudly now. And this, by the way, if this goes live and any K-pop fans see it, I would get gutted. So they straight up do everything possible to, if you insult any of the people that they like, they do everything in their power to cancel you. Like genuinely, they will like search through everything that.
All right, so at this moment, I would like to dissociate completely
So
the Nerdly
Stan
channel
BTS,
and brand we love K-pop. Long live quick, give me a K-pop band name.
BTS.
Long live what?